Dolla is back. I'm very, very excited. Bad is the title of their new single. I don't know what I'm expecting, but I'm excited. Let's get to it. Dark. The the basic beat in the entrance, that's a traditional Malaysian sound. That that's a very, very Malaysian sound. And then the styling, all of this hairstyle is actually, it looks like a modernized version of their traditional styling. So again, they did not fail, they deliver. They're unquestionably and intrinsically Malaysian, but they managed to make it modern. And that's part of the reason I love them so much. Even the beat, that's a very traditional sound. And I'm very happy to be seeing something very different from them. So far, they have not done anything that's similar to each other. They're always coming up with something new, which just, it's giving us a chance to sort of see and appreciate the different dimensions that they have as artists and their team as well, because the styling is very, very different. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, all the hairstyle, that's a very modernized traditional hairstyle. And even the gown, she looks so pretty. Wow. Okay, so first in the choreography, there's a conscious effort to shift from soft to strong in terms of choreography. So they will do a very feminine or soft kind of movement, very smooth, heavy on the hips. And then immediately after that, they'll follow it up with something strong, kicking or, displaying their biceps or posing something like that. I'm trying to actually avoid the word masculine and feminine. So they shift from soft to strong. So they would, in one step, in one movement, they will use their hips heavily, and in the second, they will use their arms and their feet very heavy. So soft to strong, and that is a reflection on what the lyrics is talking about. So far, the lyrics is about, she's calling out a guy for um for doing something wrong, and she's saying that I'm a bad female, something like that. So it's a very soft kind of emotion, but she's translating it into something strong, and it's connected to the choreography where you come from something soft and then you go into something strong. The styling, so let me show you what I'm talking about. She's so pretty. I have to say the styling is so on point, but I'll talk about that later. So that's very feminine or very soft, heavy on the hips. And then in this step, in the next step, so very heavy on the lips, so hips, sorry, not the lips. and then that's posturing, very much implying something strong. I've always loved their formation. Look at the shape that they create, not just with the outer shape, not just the outline of the four of them, but even the shape that their arms are created when they're dancing. Look at this. So in this one, so you see the kind of shape that they have. It's kind of like four sides, square but sort of tilted. And then once they move their arms, they create different shapes that create different points in their choreography. And the general shape, it's more dynamic this time because of the sheer movement of their hands. So I don't know who choreographed this, who did the choreography for this, but great job. I like their different levels. So you have two that's sort of in the middle, and then you have her in the center in front, and then the one on top at the back. A lot of dimensions. So the styling itself, the hairstyles, I'm very much convinced that they actually modernize traditional Malaysian hairstyles, and even their gowns. Once first that, let's go through. She's so pretty. So I can't get over it. She's so pretty. Okay, so this is a very Malaysian, that texture is a very Malaysian texture. It's a traditional clothing that they have modernized. And the hairstyle is so on point. Oh my god, that is just so, she looks like a doll. That is a very Malaysian fabric, Malaysian pattern. That hairstyle is very Malaysian as well. But by just using different colors and different kinds of accessories and modern accessories, they were able to modernize it. Perfect. I love her. I love the green. That is a traditional Malaysian cut. Even her gown is a traditional Malaysian cut. I love the lyrics. There's so much strength and so much compassion and so much politeness in that. Earlier there was a line where and so much class. So earlier there was a line where she was saying, "Why do you have to be so loud?" Because it's so common nowadays for people to just wash their laundry in public. They talk about everything. Nothing seems to be private anymore. Any kind of breakup, they take it to social media. Any kind of hardship, they talk about it in social media. And this is sort of a call out, a call out to them, like, why do you have to be so loud? And then even here, when she's trying to prove, I love her. I love her styling. So when she's talking about making the other person obey, here in the lyrics. There, so she's telling the other person, I'm assuming the boy because it's actually a guy that they used in this video. He's telling the guy that I can make you obey me. Look at me in the eye and I can make you obey me, but only if you're willing to fall. So there's still that assertion that I can make you do things, but I won't. You will only do it if you want to. Very respectful. And I love the contrast here, by the way. I love the colors as well. So here they'll do it again. So very, very soft, a lot of hip movement, and then there's posturing. So they look like goddesses, my gosh. Yeah, see there. So a lot of shifting. I think one of the, it feels like a transition almost. So they have, I think at this point they have proven their their that they are prolific in terms of um, the kind of look and feel that they can go to. In South Korea, there's always a concept. Like, what is the group's concept? They have, you have the girl type, you know, sweet and preppy, and then you have the singers, the belters, and the girl crush, and whatever. But Dolla has been able to show their prolificness, that they are not boxed into a single kind of concept. From um, from their intro that shows the greatness in their performance, and then the succeeding ones that shows the greatness of their dancing, and then their lyricism, and now they're crossing over. So the entire MB feels very modern, of course, very futuristic actually, and it feels like an actual battle. In the story that it's conveying, it's that they're in an actual battle. So it's a nice transition from where they came from. The first one that they had was just them as performers. It portrayed them as performers. And then the second one was them as friends. You know, they're together, and it's a slow and ballad one. And now they're coming up with something that shows the fighter in them, which it from me, from a marketing perspective, it's showing their growth and transitions as artists. Next is that I have so much respect for them, that they have chosen to how I don't know how much of the artistic side of their styling and their music videos they are involved in, but I respect them and anybody that are involved. Sorry, them and everyone else that is involved in the creation of their music videos. I respect how they have consciously maintained and kept the Malaysian side of them, and they're just simply modernizing it. I also like how radically different their look is in this video from the other videos that they had. They were so sweet. Number one, they were just so, I guess, stylish in the first video, and then when they did the last video that they did, they were so soft and so angelic, and so, but here they're so wildly stylized, but they kept them at that Malaysian side of them. I would like to see the entire choreography, but I recognize even the effort to constantly transition them from doing the hips to doing a lot of good, strong posturing, so that they are able to show the sexy side of them, their feminine side, without making them look weak or just sexualized. They're able to emphasize that this are a bunch of women that are dancing, interpreting an emotion based on the song, but they're not sexualizing themselves. Their choreographer is not sexualizing themselves. So I'm not saying that if you are moving your hips, you appear to be weak, but many times that when you're moving and using your hips heavily in a dance routine, people tend to attach that or to connect that to something very sexual. So there was a conscious effort to quickly transition from one type of move to another, which is they're just great. And the way that they are actually forming them, they're very conscious on the kind of shapes that they form on stage. It's really a performance and not just a music video. It seems that they're always thinking about how they're always filling your senses as an audience. They want to cater to all of your senses. They want to make sure that you're filled not just with the costumes and not just with the quality of the music, but the actual story and the transitions of one formation to another. So I really want to see the full choreography. In terms of lyrics, it seems very simple. They were talking to a guy who seems to have left them, and they're saying that you will never find anybody like me. So that's simple enough. But what I do like is how they were able to add layers into that. As I've discussed earlier, there was a part where she says, "I can command you. I can make you do whatever you want." But then you will fall, but you will fall in love with me only if you want me to. And that's a refreshing feminine kind take on feminine power, because the pendulum can swing so far. It can go to the extreme. When we're calling for power and whatever, we tend to emphasize just how strong we are, just how unyielding we are. We talk about how we can make people do whatever it is that we want to do, but they're emphasizing just how strong they are as women without taking away the strength and the right of the opposite gender. And I'm assuming that this is the opposite gender because the character they used in the music video is a guy. Okay, so there's some dimension to that. So it's a lyrics that could have been so simple and so cliche. They were able to add dimension to it. And I don't know if they are actually participating in the songwriting, but if they are or if they aren't, then it means that they have a very intelligent team behind them. I love the styling. I appreciate how even the modern gowns that they're wearing is still a reflection of the traditional Malaysian clothing. The styling that they have in their hair, just everything that in this video I just love so much, and I would really, really want to see the full choreography performance. Dolla!